Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So we're going to talk about the Pacers and preseason. And, we're like a week away from the NBA season at this point. And I want to go over preseason and one particular thing I'm very worried about. And this video is not going to be super duper positive, unfortunately. This is not going to be a video where I'm predicting we win the NBA championship. Believe it or not, after preseason, I actually have a lot of concerns about this team. Now, I will say this, the concerns I have stem from mostly the fan base and their expectations, more so than the actual performance of the team, I guess, if that makes any sense, because the fact of the matter is I've been a Pacers fan for a long time now, and I know how this fan base is. Everybody expects greatness, even if you're not likely to fucking get it. We've been a little spoiled, I will say that, with getting to the NBA Finals this past year, literally getting to Game 7, and then the year prior, getting all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then also, we've just, the Colts are playing well at the moment, so the Indiana Fever got Caitlin Clark, and she's I guess you could say she really drastically, she really turned that team around. So we've been kind of spoiled, in recent history. But when it comes to the Pacers in this particular season, I have some concerns that the win-loss column is not going to look the way people are predicting. I've seen people say we're going to get 38 wins. I've seen people say we're going to get 52 wins. I've seen people say we're going to win the fucking championship again. I've seen every blasphemous take you can probably have. I've seen a couple really good realistic takes, but I'm just gonna give you my opinion. Feel free to tell me I'm fucking stupid. People never, that's the one thing I've noticed online, people never fail to do. When it comes to being online, people have no problem telling you you're fucking stupid, but when was the last time somebody on the internet told you were smart? You know what I'm saying? That almost never happens, so I'm not expecting it to happen. But I have a major concern with this Pacers team. And my major concern is at the center position. I have not seen a single thing in preseason that I look at and I go, yeah, that's game-changing for us. Or it's better than what Miles Turner provided. Or on the level of what Miles Turner provided. No, to be fair, okay? I'm not expecting any of these guys to be Miles Turner. But my problem with all four of our centers, Tony Bradley, Isaiah Jackson, Jay Huff, and James Wiseman, is I have not seen anything in preseason from any of them that really, jumps off the page at me. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen anything that really wows me. Ben Mathurin has had, a couple moments where I'm like, yeah, I could see Ben Mathurin taking a leap this year. Johnny Furphy has shown me things where I'm like, yeah, that's impressive. That could really, Johnny Furphy could take a leap this year. Ray J. Dennis has shown me things in preseason where I'm like, okay, he can ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen anything like that out of the center position. And I get it. You got four centers. You're trying to rotate them in and out, get them equal minutes. Wiseman and Jay Huff have had moments. Actually, if you want to be on it, if I'm being honest with you, the guy I was most concerned about actually was Isaiah Jackson, because he hasn't played well really at all in preseason, and he's supposed to be our starter according to the depth chart on ESPN. So I'm just I don't know how to feel. I'm not saying that these guys are going to be horrible forever, because they're not. Jay Huff is still a relatively new guy to the NBA. Tony Bradley, I feel has been around forever. James Wiseman is looking for a career resurgence in Indiana. So, really, I'm kind of I know what I got at this point. I know what I got in Isaiah Jackson. I know what I'm getting in James Wiseman. I know what I'm getting in Tony Bradley. The only guy that's really kind of a question mark is Jay Huff. And if we're being completely honest, in preseason, out of what I've seen from all the centers, I think Jay Huff should be the starter. I mean, Isaiah Jackson, like, there's games where he's 0 points, 3 rebounds. Tony Bradley, 0 points, 2 rebounds. I think Isaiah Jackson actually had multiple games where he scored 0 points and had like 2 or 3 rebounds. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is not going to get it done. Like, that's my problem. And I get that it's preseason. But on the other hand, I'm like, it's preseason. And this is, potentially coming against guys that are not even going to make an NBA roster. So I'm not completely down on the center position because anybody could just, like, catch a gear and be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, all it takes is some guy, like, with rookies, I feel like it's the same thing with guys that are maybe has-beens. It's like they don't get a lot of opportunity, but if you give them some opportunity, they might be really good players. So, like that could happen to anybody where, it could happen to Wiseman, it could happen to Bradley, it could happen to Isaiah Jackson, it could happen to Jay Huff, where if they're just given a significant amount of time and they're allowed to just kind of do what they want, they could become better players. It's just right now, the center position's looking kind of rough. And if the center position's looking kind of rough, I really don't think this team's gonna, win north of 45 games. I just don't. There's no way they can go the entire season playing the players they have at the center position now and be a 45-plus win team. They just can't. I'm sorry. I don't care how much you like the fucking team. I don't care how much you like Isaiah Jackson. I don't care how much you like Jay Huff. I don't care how much you like Wiseman. I don't care how much you like Tony Bradley. Okay? At the current point in time, at the current state, the way the center position is, there's no way this team wins 45-plus games with the way we're playing at the center position. It will get better. It will. I'm just saying that right now. Like, it will get better. But for right now, at the current point in time, there's no way. I'm just throwing that out there, okay? The other thing is, like, Jarris Walker hasn't been super impressive in preseason. I can go over a bunch of guys that have been impressive and guys that haven't. Talon Peter has looked amazing. If I were Ben Shepherd, I'd be a little bit worried, just because Ben Shepherd had a really bad season last year, and this Talon Peter kid is looking like he's the whole package. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting after it on defense. He's stroking it from 3. Johnny Furphy, like I said earlier in the video, Johnny Furphy has, like, I didn't even know Johnny Furphy could dunk the way he's been dunking in preseason and in summer league. I was like, yo, like, Johnny Furphy is capable of this bullshit. Like, he's just had, like, crazy poster dunk after crazy poster dunk, and I'm just like, all right, the Aussie's got bunnies. I guess, the kid from the land of reptiles has bunnies. What are we doing, Alex? I don't know. But it's just the idea. I was hoping to see what I saw out of Johnny Furphy and Talon Peter. Like, what I saw out of those guys, Benedict Mathurin, Ray J. Dennis, what we were seeing out of them was stuff I was hoping to see out of one of the guys at the center position, and I just feel like I didn't get that. So, center position's concerning me a little bit. Point guard position runs some concerns as well. We have a bunch of guards. But I'm going to throw this out there. I don't know if I said this in the last video or not, but I agree with something Fauci from Setting the Pace podcast, the Pacers podcast, said on Twitter the other day. He said, I don't know why the team doesn't just sign Quentin Jackson to a full-year deal, because at this point he's a better player than Cameron Payne, and I completely agree with that. I'm just throwing this out there. Me and Fauci are on the same page about this, okay? Like, I firmly believe Q-Jax should be the third point guard, okay? Like, third string guy. All right, it should be Tyrese Halliburton, TJ McConnell, Q-Jax. Like, that's how I feel, and that's just my opinion. I think Q-Jax is a great player. I don't know why he's a two-way player. He should be the third point guard, at least I think so. I like what he provides. I think he's high energy. I think he he balls. Like, he's a baller. And for whatever reason, we got Cam Payne, Ray J. Dennis, Cam Jones. Like, it's weird to me that, like, we're so guard heavy when we really don't need this many guards. Like, I get why we drafted Cam Jones, because maybe he was the best player available at the time. But, like, we have a bunch of guards, and I'm just like, Q-Jax, I think, is better than Cameron Payne at this point in his career. And for whatever reason, the team is just, like, refusing to sign him. So I have to agree with Fauci. He put out a tweet about that, and I was just like, dude, like, preach, brother, preach. Because, like, I think Q-Jax is, like, he doesn't get the respect he deserves. So that's maybe a hot take to some people, but I really think Q-Jax is better than Cameron Payne at this point. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but I that's my opinion, and Fauci has the same opinion as me. So other than that, preseason has been fun to watch. I think our final preseason game is tomorrow against San Antonio. Don't quote me on it, but I do think we play San Antonio tomorrow. Our first game of the year is against OKC, which is a rough matchup to start if you're playing the center position. Only because I have Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. So, yeah, rough. Isaiah Jackson, Wiseman, Jay Huff, and Tony Bradley, which I think Tony Bradley's probably going to get cut. If I had to pick anybody out of those four that is not going to be on the roster. It's going to be a rough outing the first day. Then we also don't have TJ McConnell anymore. TJ McConnell's out for a month. That hurts us as well. Andrew Nembhard is going to go out there and play point guard. We're going to see how that goes for an entire... Probably, honestly, Nembhard at point might get 38, 40 minutes, because I know for damn sure Rick is not going to throw Q-Jax out there and whoever else they decide to call up, or Cameron Payne. I know he's not going to throw them out there for like 20 minutes. So we'll see what happens. But I want to go out on this, okay? Do not expect this Pacer team to be a 50-win team. That's all I'm going to say. I know that, everyone's like, oh, well, we only lost Halliburton. No, we lost Halliburton and Miles Turner. Okay? And as much as I didn't like Miles Turner's fit with this team, he is still a better center than what we have on our current roster. Now, guys could get better. Like I said, it's very possible that, like, somebody just catches a gear, or, they just go on a good run and they become a better player. It's very, very possible. We see it all the time. Where a guy just gets opportunity, and maybe all he needed was some opportunity, and suddenly he's a double-double guy, or he's, giving you numbers you didn't think that he could give you. But at the same time, okay, we're also missing Halliburton. TJ McConnell's now injured for a month. So it's just the idea. I want people, like, the start of the season's gonna be rocky. Like, I want people to get that through their heads at this point. The start of this NBA season is going to be very rocky if you're a Pacers fan. It could start out really bad. The other thing you have to think about is our team went to the NBA Finals last year. That means our schedule going to be a little tougher than usual. All right? So it's just the idea. I want people to get that through their heads, is the idea that, like, we're coming off a season where we just went to Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and we're having to play with our team is handicapped. So I hate to say it that way, but that's what it is. Our team is basically handicapped. We don't have Halliburton. We lost Miles Turner completely, and TJ McConnell's injured. So really this year it should be looked at as a development year for our young guys. I think Matherin's going to thrive. I even think Jarris Walker is going to be very good once the season starts. I'm looking for Johnny Furphy to maybe get more minutes this year than he normally would, especially from what I've seen from him in Summer League and preseason. I think Johnny Furphy is going to get more of a nod this year than he did last year. Talen Peter, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's going to get the nod over Ben Shepherd just because he's a rookie, and we all know Like, the front office usually doesn't give rookies the nod over guys like Ben Shepherd. Like, Ben Shepherd had one bad year. He's entitled to one bad year, so let's see what happens. Nembhard, I'm hoping improves shooting-wise because 29% from 3 is not going to get it done. Like, I don't think people understand that either. I got into a huge debate with somebody in my comment section on, I think, the last video, where, like, somebody was like, oh, Nembhard's shooting is fine. He's a decent shooter. I'm like, dude, he's in the 36th percentile in true shooting percentage. He is not a good shooter. Like, yeah, Andrew Nembhard is okay at shooting. He's not great, but he's barely okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, he shoots maybe 46% from the field, and he shot 29% from 3 this past year. So I'm looking for improvement. Yes, Nembhard is a very good defender, but he doesn't get a lot of looks around the basket. Most of his shots are three-point shots and mid-range attempts. So, you know, this is the guy we're asking to run our offense. We're asking a guy to run our offense who sucks at shooting. I don't know if you've seen what happens when you have a point guard that runs your offense that sucks at shooting, but usually the outcome is not that great. That's all I'm saying. So things could change. I hope they do. I hope Nembhard has a better shooting year this year. I hope Mathurin takes the leap we all expect. I hope the center position irons itself out some way. But these are just the concerns that I have after watching preseason. I just think people need to get it out of their heads that this team is a bona fide playoff team. And I think they need to get it out of their heads that this team is going to win like 50-plus games. All right? I understand that, like, this team likes being the underdog, and they kind of thrive on that. But at the same time, we have to look at reality a little bit. And unfortunately, I'm looking at reality, and I'm like, okay, like, I see why the over-under is 38 wins. You know, like, I think my prediction, the team's going to win 42 games. I think 42 games is a safe moniker. But I in no way think like 45 wins seems like a stretch. I understand the Eastern Conference is weak, but the Western Conference is still very good. And even with the Eastern Conference being weak, some of those teams I think are a little bit they're not as injury riddled as we are, but some of those other teams too just have a little bit more going on for them than we do. Granted, the Boston Celtics front court is so bad that, like, you and I could probably get fucking minutes in it at the moment. But it's just the idea. There's a lot of question marks about this Pacers team this year. And really all we can do is wait for the season to start and see how it plays out and see who, you know, wait until the, what's the saying? Wait until the tide goes out and see who's, it's like wait until the tide goes out and see who's still wearing their swimming trunks or something like that, and who's naked or who isn't or something like that. That's kind of how we're this Pacers team is. It's like we're gonna see who's who once we're like 10, 11 games into the season. We're gonna see who showed up to ball and who didn't. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say. Just I'm very concerned about the season this year. And the only reason I'm concerned is just because I feel like Pacers fans are going to set unrealistic expectations again, and that's going to lead them to being like, this player sucks, or this player's bad, or this player's good. Like, you can never judge a player off of one game, but it's just the idea, like, I've watched multiple games now at this point of the preseason, and I'm just like, gonna be some growing pains. That's all I'm saying. There's gonna be growing pains, and I expected there to be growing pains. I just don't know if the rest of Pacers Nation understands there's going to be growing pains, or at least growing pains to the degree that we're gonna get them. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.